everybody, and I hope you had a happy Christmas, have had a good start to Hanukkah, aired all your grievances during Festivus as we get ready for basketball. The final tune-up before the conference season starts for three of these four teams as the 34th Cougar Holiday Classic kicks off with LA Trade Tech and Mount San Antonio. I'm Matt Robinson, happy to have you along with us as always here on the Cougar Sports Network. Well, for Mount San Antonio and the Mounties, they have been impressive this season. 11-1 so far on the year on a 5-game winning streak coming into this tournament here. They won the Cougar Holiday Classic last year, trying a repeat performance here this season. They take on the Trade Tech Beavers, who are 5-6 on the season. They lost their last game out against LA Pierce College, as that was back on the 17th of December. So a little bit of a layoff for both these sides. Everybody getting back to work, as it should be an interesting one here today between Trade Tech and Mount San Antonio College. As we take a look at the bracket here for the Cougar Holiday Classic, hosted here at Smelser Court inside the Cougar Cage. Trade Tech and Mount San Antonio doing battle in the 5 p.m. game today. Later on, Orange Coast and College of the Canyons in the 7 p.m. today will go at it. The winners of each game will play at 5 o'clock tomorrow in the championship game. The consolation game actually happens at 3 p.m. tomorrow, so we'll make sure we bring you both of those games here on the Cougar Sports Network. As we take a look at the matchup between these two teams today, Mount San Antonio 79.4 points per game this season. Right about 19th, 20th in the state. Actually 19th right now. Could change a little bit with some games going on today. But 19th in the state in points per game. Compare that to LA Trade Tech 77.5. All the way down to 28th in the state of California. Both teams shoot up over 40% and right about the same number from three. But it's the glass game that has really helped Mount Sac this season, averaging 8.2 rebounds more than their opponents this season per game, as that's been really the difference for the Mounties this year. You look at the net efficiency, it's much better for Mount Sac at .140 compared to negative .0414 for LA Trade Tech. For the Beavers, they're going to need some good work out of the entire roster, but especially Enzo Comegni, who is their leader so far this year, averaging 15.1 points per game, shooting 43% from three, which is 36th in the state. He shoots 44.9% from the field, which doesn't rank in the top 50 in the state of California. Still a pretty good number from him. He's been very solid this year, the top performer for LA Trade Tech. On the other side for Mount Sac, it's been their freshman guard out of Colony in Ontario, Jaden Simpson, averaging 20 or 19 points per game. It's 20th best in the state of California, shooting 48.8% from the field, 31.3% from three this season, but he can get to the basket. He's at 11 straight games with 10 or more points. He's only played in 11 of the 12 games this year for Mount Sac, as he did not play against Riverside, but he will be one to watch for the Mounties today here against LA Trade Tech, as we are just about ready to get underway. Beavers and the Mounties here in the opening game of the 34th Cougar Holiday Classic here from Smelser Court. Starting lineups for both sides. For LA Trade Tech, Andrew Martin, Enzo Comegni, Kevin Garrett, Trevin Thompson, and Pierre Darry will get the start. On the other side, Jaden Simpson, Emmanuel Taylor, John McCullough, Kenneth Brown, and Ryan Wheeler. For Mount San Antonio, the head coach of the Mounties is Michael Fennison in his 4th season. He's assisted by Jordan Brown and Philip Brown. On the other side for LA Trade Tech, Sherman Morgan, the head coach, assisted by Danny Lawton, Sharon Penniman, and Quincy Jones. The 5th neutral site game of the season for LA Trade Tech, 2-3 so far this year on neutral site. Mount Sac undefeated 3-0 in neutral site games this year away from Mount San Antonio Gymnasium. As the Mounties in their whites, the home team here in today's game, moving to our left in this first half. LA Trade Tech in the black jerseys with purple and gold trimmed numbers. Moving to our right as they win the opening tip. Trevin Thompson, the 6'8" power forward out of Carrillo High School, gets up and gets it done. Trade Tech will go to work offensively. DeRee, a little elbow jumper, no. Thompson, the offensive rebound, the putback chance misses. And the rebound pulled down by John McCullough, who will dribble it out of danger. Taylor into the quarter to Simpson. Simpson's the hot hand for LA Trade Tech, or excuse me, for Mount San Antonio most of the time. 19.3 points per game as we talked about in the open. Mounties in a half-court offense here. McCullough. Get it to Taylor, they'll swing it around. Brown trying to get it down to Simpson. He'll drive baseline, stepped on the baseline. LA Trade Tech basketball, and we have our first change of possession on a turnover here in the ballgame. Simpson, a guy that averages 2.3 turnovers per game. Assist to turnover ratio just about 1. Here's an elbow jumper that's an air ball from DeRee. Now Sack sends it ahead. Wheeler down low under the basket, puts it in. Wheeler, pretty big man, 6'6" out of Arlington High School. The freshman forward had 7 points, 2 rebounds in 16 minutes against LA Harbor in their last win. Gets Mount Sac on the board, then on the other side, Kevin Garrett puts one in. So we're even up at 2. Sack back to work offensively. Simpson got his man in the air. Good dish underneath for an easy bucket for John McCullough. Simpson, 23 assists on the season coming in, 2.1 assists per game. Has one there is McCullough, who averages 14.1 points per. Gets himself on the board. It's a 2-point advantage here for Mount Sac. Magny with the basketball. He's the danger man for LA Trade Tech so far this year. Magny trying to back his man off, tried to throw one down low, had it turned over as it was picked off. Quick outlet ahead, and an easy bucket for Emmanuel Taylor in just his second game of the season. Taylor had 14 points against LA Harbor in 28 minutes. The Mounties certainly happy to have him back. Here's a long rebound for Simpson off the miss. He'll drive it right ahead, tries to get to the basket, instead he'll get to the line. Taylor to work here for Mount Sac. The miss on the far side. You can see Taylor with the, or Simpson, excuse me, with the rebound, drove it right ahead. Foul was to Andrew Martin. Simpson from the line this year, 80 of 104, 76.9, but he's 5th best in the state in terms of foul shots made this year. Makes them both. 6-point advantage here. Sack in a press. DeRee gets the bucket. And then a bucket off the inbound as there was a foul on Mount Sac. So Mount Sac's lead down to 2. Wheeler couldn't put it in. Then it went out off of Kevin Garrett. A little bit of a sloppy, weird play. We expect a little bit of that today with both these teams having a touch of a break. Mount Sac hasn't played since the 20th. LA Trade Tech since the 17th, because everybody had some time off for the holiday break. McCullough, get it around to Simpson on the wing. A 3 is good. Simpson, who has made just 11 threes on the year, knocks one down, and the lead up to 5 right now for Mount Sac. Andrew Martin with the basketball. Martin trying to drive, dishes it off. Thompson from the top of the key knocks it down. A nice little 20-footer from Thompson. Thompson, who's a 55.8% shooter from the field this year, gets himself on the board. It's an 11-8 lead. Here's Taylor onto McCullough. Now to Simpson, back to McCullough. Simpson asking for it. McCullough going to go in isolation here off the screen, then to give it to Brown. Brown trying to drive against Taylor. Throws one up off the rim and in. Bucket for Kenneth Brown, his first bucket of the ball game, back to a 5-point lead. Martin the third with the basketball here, guarded tightly by Emmanuel Taylor. Dished it off, Trevin Thompson. Now Garrett trying to spin. Foul line jumper, no good. Late whistle for a foul will give Garrett 2 shots. Foul's gonna go against Ryan Wheeler. See if we can take a look at it here as Taylor's spinning around. See a lot of contact from Wheeler. Garrett, just 3 for 4 from the line coming into today, knocks the first one down. See Jimmy Banker into the game for the first time today. Perry Fields and Jerome Smith out there for LA Trade Tech. McCullough off the floor for the Mounties. Thompson makes both. He'll check out. Damani Lewis will check in. So 3-point lead here for Mount San Antonio. Taylor got to the rack, didn't get it to fall as he hit the bottom of the rim. Lewis an outlet ahead. Fields driving right up, and he's gonna be tied up as possession arrow with Mount Sac. And they will take possession. Good hustle back that time from the Mount Sac defense. Smith pressing ahead. This one passed down low to Simpson. Back up top. Baker, fake to pass, now drives, dumps it underneath. Wheeler had it knocked out of his hands. Fields quickly ahead. That's Jonathan Fields throwing it ahead. As it was pulled down by Jerome Smith. Smith guarded by Taylor. Out high at the circle. Gets it to the foul line. Ball was knocked out of the hands of Thompson. Diving on the floor to try and tie it up was Baker, could not. Fields onto the near side to Jonathan Fields as the Fields boys connect for a 3. And we're tied at 13. As Jonathan Fields, a 20% three-point shooter, makes just his 6th 3 on his 26th opportunity of the season. A little over 5 minutes gone here in the first half. We are tied at 13 early on. Baker working it inside. Simpson trying to get to the basket. Off the window and good. Simpson using his frame, the 6'1 freshman, who had 13 points, 5 boards, 2 assists in 23 minutes against LA Harbor in their 94-58 win. Showing why he's their leader offensively. 7 points in the ball game. The 2-point Mount Sac lead. Rebound pulled down by Brown off the LA Trade Tech miss. Brown will dribble it ahead, dumps it off to Simpson, back to Brown, extra pass to Taylor. Taylor wanted to drive, but he didn't put the ball on the floor before he ran. He's gonna get called for a walk. We'll see a substitution here. Delgado coming in to take over for Ryan Wheeler. We'll also see Jeremy Williams in to take over for Emmanuel Taylor. Late substitution here. Jaden Simpson will go to the bench. John McCullough back in. Simpson and McCullough, along with Kenneth Brown, the minutes leaders on the team this year, all over 33 minutes a game. Brown actually 35.4 minutes per game, is second most in the state. Where we have foul on Jimmy Baker here for a push from behind, his first. Already the 6th foul on Mount Sac, 6 on LA Trade Tech here. Or excuse me, 2nd foul on Mount Sac. I'm looking at the timeouts. 2nd foul on Mount Sac, just 1 on Trade Tech here. Jerome Smith to work offensively. His pass didn't find Damani Lewis. Instead, it found Jonathan Fields, who kicks it over to Perry Fields. Fields dumps it off underneath the basket. Kunique Yandel Parker couldn't get it to fall. It's tipped around. It goes out off of Mount Sac. It'll stay with Trade Tech here. 19 seconds on the shot clock. And they're actually going to give it a full reset to 20. Here's Lewis. Foul line jumper. Short, never found its way, and then a block underneath the basket by Joel Gatto, as Perry Fields had collected the ball and tried to go up and didn't get anything away. McCullough now will run the point here. Mount Sac content to slow things up. There's Baker. He'll put up a deep 3 with 10 on the shot clock, too strong. Couldn't get his own rebound, but he's going to get called for a foul as he ran into Jerome Smith, and he picks up his 2nd here with 12:53 to go in this first. Manuel Taylor gonna come in. So they asked Taylor to come back in and guard Smith. Smith lost the ball, picked it back up. Sends it over to Jonathan Fields. He tries to drive, hit the bottom of the rim as he threw one up. Got it back as it came in and out of the hands of Jeremy Williams. A 3-pointer from Smith, no good. Rebound pulled down by Mount Sac, and they'll run the fast break ahead. A foul going to be called. Jeremy Williams trying to drive to the basket. Will get himself to the line. Take another look here. The miss from Smith. The rebound kind of deflected around off the basket. It was pulled down by Brown. You can see the foul and the heavy contact there on Williams. It's not a shooting foul, they say. It was before the shot was attempted. Taylor will attempt a 3 off the inbound, no good. McCullough the rebound to reset here for Mount Sac. McCullough will set it up top, 3 on the way. That is good. Good shot from Kenneth Brown. 21 of 59 this year, 34.5% coming in. Lead up to 5. It's Jonathan Fields. Jump stop in the lane, gets it over to Perry Fields for 3. Too much off the back iron. Rebound pulled down by McCullough as he is the only one that leapt for it. He'll bring it back up the floor. Stops his dribble, kicks to Taylor. Taylor a stutter step, driving, trying to get around a defender, no good. Good job by Kunique Yandel Parker to have some presence in the lane, and then a foul underneath the basket on LA Trade Tech. Going against Kunique Yandel Parker, I believe. So Parker initially under the basket was clean, but then something off the rebound got him called for a foul. So it'll go with Mount Sac here. Inbound outside to Williams. Mount Sac will go to work offensively in a half-court set. McCullough out at the top of the circle, gives it to Brown. Drops it off to Taylor as they weave here. McCullough outside the 3-point arc, drives to his right, stops up, draws, contact, count it, and the foul for John McCullough. Take another look here. McCullough doing a nice job, little stutter step off the weave. Initially, he's calling for help, wants some help, drives, got his man in the air in Jonathan Fields, then knocked it down through the contact, trying for a 3-point play. It's a 7-point lead, make it an 8-point lead as McCullough, 69% foul shooter, knocks it in. 21-13 here, 11:19 to go in this first half. Rebound pulled down by Damani Lewis off the miss from Fields. He's able to put it back with a little hook in the lane. Cuts the lead down to 6. There's McCullough. Up top to Kenneth Brown, back to McCullough as they play catch. Now Sac slowing it down once again. There's Jeremy Williams holding it. Got it to Gatto. Now over to Emmanuel Taylor. Foul away from the basketball underneath the basket on Kenneth Brown. First foul on Brown. 5th. And we'll take a timeout here. They put the foul on the wrong side. It's a timeout for Mount Sac. We'll take a break as well.
Whether we're on the move or stuck in one place, it's with us. Comforting, healing, and transforming lives. It's the power of you. With 4 world-class hospitals and over 170 clinics across Southern California, together, we're building a healthier community. We're your neighbors, your friends, your family. It begins with you. UCLA Health.
Yeah, really good now. They fixed the foul. They put the last foul up against Trade Tech when it was actually on Mount Sac. So Trade Tech now with the basketball as we come out of the timeout. Lewis, elbow jumper good. Little 10-footer from Damani Lewis. McCullough couldn't finish. Frustrated that it didn't fall, frustrated that he didn't get the foul called. Here's Lewis for 3, and transition is good. Tamani Lewis heating up. He's got 7. It's a 1-point game. 21-20 here. Just about halfway through this first half. Foul went against Damani Lewis. Strictly back to her. Taylor driving, and Perry Fields went right up and basically took it right out of his hand as he tried to lay it in. Back on the other side, of 3 from Jonathan Fields in transition. It's a 2-point LA Trade Tech lead. Mount Sac trying to tie the game up here. McCullough missed. Put back, no. Ball tipping around as Wheeler couldn't put it in. But then Simpson with a steal on an outlet, and he draws a foul. Foul goes against Perry Field, or Jonathan Fields, excuse me, his second. Little sloppy play that time. But Trade Tech with, I believe, their first lead of the ball game. It's indeed their first lead of the ball game here. Mount Sac will go back to work. Taylor will send it far side to McCullough. McCullough working off the screen, got it to Taylor. Taylor driving, little floater in the lane, no good. Rebound, bounces out to Perry Fields. Got it to Damani Lewis. Lewis wanting to sprint it up the floor, then had it taken out of his hands. Mount Sac gonna try and run a break the other way, but Taylor couldn't catch it. It's just a turnover. So a turnover on one side, a turnover on the other. So far, Damani Lewis and Jaden Simpson leading the way for their respective sides, each with 7 points. See Jeremy Williams checking back in to take over for Emmanuel Taylor here. Taylor's still hot after that last play over at the bench. Mike Fennison trying to calm him down here a little bit. Trade Tech back to work offensively. Good cut, good feed. Easy bucket for Jerome Smith off a nice cut. And Good vision from Trayvon Thompson to find it. Smith nearly had it stolen from him from behind. Had to hold on to it and dumps it off to John McCullough. Simpson got it to Williams. Williams, far side, 3 on the way, no good. Simpson, the rebound, nearly put it back with one hand, but it bounced off the rim, and Trade Tech back the other way, the 4-point lead. Jerome Smith, guarded by Kenneth Brown, drives against him. His pass deflected off a hand. As Ryan Wheeler got a hand on it. Wheeler heavily taped on that left hand. A wrist injury he's dealing with right now. Off the inbound, a 3 from Smith, no good. And then it goes out off of Jeremy Williams as he and Perry Fields were going up for the rebound, and neither came away with it cleanly. There's a bucket off of a miss. Trevin Thompson gets it. As it was Perry Fields trying to drive to create something, could not. Now Sack trying to get out in transition here, and they'll get to the line with a foul, as it'll be Ryan Wheeler to the line. Mount Sac now in the bonus, so they'll shoot 1-1 the rest of the way. Perry Fields coming off the floor here. As, let's see who was up at the table. Wheeler, 71% foul shooter, 28 of 40 on the season now after that miss. Six-point Trade Tech lead here. Both no good for Wheeler, so you go down the floor, you don't get anything. Quamegny on the other side draws a foul from Wheeler, and he'll get himself to the line. Quickly in transition that time from Trade Tech off the miss. You can see right away they go to work. Smith quickly ahead to Quamegny, who draws the foul and will go to the line. Quamegny, a 75% foul shooter on the season, 18 of 24 coming into today. First one is good. Lead is now 7. They're going to bring Ryan Wheeler off the floor, Joe Gatto back in. Wheeler, Jonathan Fields, Jimmy Baker all with 2 fouls. Quamegny makes both. First 2 points of the ball game for him. Jaden Simpson ahead. Now he's looking at a bucket in transition from Jeremy Williams, who only averages 5.6 points per game. Gets his first bucket of the day on his first field goal attempt of the day. Donnery will dump it off. Quamegny slips it inside. Gatto got a hand on it, but it ended up in the hands of Trevin Thompson, who then gets himself to the line. To 29-23. The lead for LA Trade Tech. Thompson, first trip to the line today. 55% foul shooter on the season. Misses the first. Kevin Garrett checking back in. Take over Pierre Dari. Neither foul shot good from Thompson. McCullough, an easy rebound. His 4th of the ball game. 6-point Trade Tech lead. Jaden Simpson on the near side. Double team. Got it to Gatto. Now Simpson again, up top, 3 with 7 to go, and an air ball, maybe hit the bottom of the backboard by Kenneth Brown. Trade Tech trying to go quickly ahead, but McCullough steps in the lane, steals the pass, goes back to work offensively, and he's going to be called for a travel. as he ran into contact, couldn't keep his foot down, just kind of slid on him a little bit. So we'll stay at a 6-point game with 6:56 to go here in the first half. 29-23, Trade Tech leading Mount Sac. It's a Trade Tech team this year. Lost their opening game of the season to Shabbat, 75-70. Then beat Chaffee in a wild 102-100 game. There's a foul line floater from Comegny that's good. Then a high-scoring affair against Oxnard, 88-82 a win. A loss to San Diego City, a loss to Cerritos, and a loss to LA Pierce, but wins over Barstow, Copper Mountain, and Saddleback. The Mounties are going to take a timeout here as they want to talk things over. It's a full timeout. We'll take a break as well. 31-23, LA Trade Tech leading Mount Sac. Here from Lee Smelser Court inside the Cougar cage at the 34th Cougar Holiday Classic.
Can I get it Mike's way? What's happening?
And your free sub. Enjoy.
Hey.
That was super weird.
Oh, that? Nah. She just used the Shore points you can now earn from chip and drink purchases to get free sub through the app.
Download the Jersey Mike's app and earn rewards towards free subs with every sub, Pepsi, and Lay's you purchase.
(31-23), Trade Tech leading Mount Sac. So far, Damani Lewis leading the way with 7 points for Trade Tech. Then Jonathan Fields, Travis Thompson each with 6. Jaden Simpson with 7 to lead the way for Mount Sac. John McCullough and Kenneth Brown each with 5. For Damani Lewis, just 2 points off his season high already, which was 9. He only averages 2.9 points per game, but was hot here to start. Now has just 30 points on the season. Doesn't play a lot of minutes, just 7.3 minutes per game. He's played in 8 games so far this year. Has had a good start here for Trade Tech, along with Jonathan Fields and Travis Thompson. Have them out to a 8-point lead. Here's McCullough trying to work off the Gatto screen, dumps it off underneath. Brown fouled, and he'll go to the line. Brown, his first trip to the line today. 65% foul shooter, 17-26 on the year. Makes the first. Brown coming off a game where we had 8 points, 6 boards, 3 assists in 31 minutes against LA Harbor. That actually snapped a streak of 5 straight games with 10 or more points. Misses on the second. Lead down to 7. It's Jerome Smith. Smith, since coming to the game, hasn't had a ton of points, but has handled the ball well for Trade Tech. Really has solidified the offense a touch bit. Comegny now to work. Driving, gets through 2 bodies, throws up a wild shot that doesn't fall. Brown with the rebound. He wants to run the transition offense. Got it to Simpson. Simpson fakes a 3, drives into the lane. Little right-handed hook floater. That's good. You can see why Jaden Simpson's so dangerous from the floor. 61 baskets coming into the game this year and 125 chances, 48.8% in the state. Got a bucket there, and then Mount Sac gets a miss. Brown will put up a 3. Air ball, too much on it. Outlet quickly ahead. Comegny had it stolen from behind by Brown, but fell into the hands of one of the Beavers, and they're going to get it to Jerome Smith, who puts up a 3. Smith, who averages 13.7 points per game coming off the bench, is a 34% three-point shooter. Puts the lead back up to 8. Travel going to be called here. Simpson called for it that time. This is a Trade Tech team. 23.4 threes attempted per game, 7.6 made. That's 28 and 26th in the state. They shoot 32.7%, which is 36th in the state. But compare that to Mount Sac, who makes just 5 threes a game, which is 79th, and they only take 15, which is 89th. They hit one here as John McCullough knocks one down. 34% three-point shooter cuts the lead down to 5. But if Trade Tech can keep the three-point shooting hot, which they get another one from Jerome Smith. Smith now leading the way with 8 points. Trade Tech thought they had a block down low as Trevin Thompson got his hands on McCullough, and then McCullough got a steal and then draws a foul on Thompson. Chance to make it a 4-point swing. Foul goes against Thompson, his first. McCullough today, 1 of 1 from the line, already in double figures with 10 points. Give him 3 straight games with 10 or more points. Makes the first of 2. McCullough, when he went up to the rack on the first one, Thompson got a hand on it, nearly blocked it, and it kind of just fell into the rim. And then got a steal off the inbound play, and then drew the foul on Thompson as those two going at it. So McCullough will look at the second here after the 30-second timeout. Misses on the second. Rebound was tipped out and found Kevin Garrett dribbling onto it. Jerome Smith now. Check a few moments ago for 3. 2 for 3 from 3 here early on. A tie-up gonna be called. Terry Fields went down hard. We'll see a substitution here. And this is Dante Hardy coming into the game. (37-32), Mount Sac with the basketball here. Trailing by 5. McCullough will put up a 3. That is good. It's a 2-point game. McCullough heating up now with 14. Smith had it knocked out of his hands by Taylor. Taylor staying right with it. These two guards just trying to battle. Taylor with a block on Smith that time. Pulled down by Gatto. Outlet ahead to Brown. Brown dumps it underneath Smith. Reverse layup is good. Excuse me, Simpson. Reverse layup is good. Jaden Simpson now in double figures with 11 as we are tied at 37 now. 2.5 to go here in the first half. Simpson nearly had a steal. Hardy underneath finishes it off. Back to a 2-point lead for Trade Tech. Trade Tech, another takeaway. Jonathan Fields, circus shot didn't fall. Rebound was pulled down by Brown. Taylor throws it out ahead to Gatto, who comes down with it and stays in bounds at the same time. And then Taylor drawing a foul, going to be called against Hardy for a block as he was trying to drive. And that'll send Emmanuel Taylor to the line. For Jaden Simpson, 12 straight games this season with 10 or more points. Give him 11 today. Simpson 1 for 1 from 3 today. He's just 2 of 15 from 3 over the last 6 games, including today. Does a lot of his work from inside. Here's Taylor at the line. 7 of 8 from the line this season, 87%. Makes the first. Damani Lewis, who had a long rest on the bench, checking back in to take over for Dante Hardy here. Taylor trying to tie this back up at 39. Trade Tech led by as much as 8 at one point. Taylor misses the second. Trade Tech keeps it in play. Damani Lewis trying to dribble through some bodies, falls down to the floor. Ball scooped up, and they're going to have a kickball on Trade Tech. We'll give Mount Sac the basketball. Emmanuel Taylor trying to drive. Put him at the line here as he'll draw the foul. Now goes against Derry here. Taylor misses on the first. Taylor 1 of 3 from the line here. Still a 1-point lead for Trade Tech. Second from Taylor is good. .39 all, minute and a half to go here in the first half. Magny drops it off for Smith. Smith back to Quamegny, guarded by Brown. Drops it off to Lewis, back to Quamegny, 8 to shoot here, drives baseline. Had it knocked out of his hands by Emmanuel Taylor. It'll stay with Trade Tech, which is 5 to shoot here. Jerome Smith holding up Bree Fingers, calling out the play here. He had it stolen off the inbound play by Brown, who drives right to the basket, had it blocked, and then it goes off of him out of play. The block by Perry Fields that time. It's good elevation from Perry Fields. So 60 seconds to go in the first half, tied at 39. Offensive foul going to be called for a shoulder shiver, a forearm shiver into the back of Taylor by Pierre Dury. So Dury's first. And we stay tied at 39. Taylor might have did a little extra to draw that one. Certainly it was a forearm into his back from Dury. Taylor, good dish underneath. And a bucket for Gatto is first. Mount Sac back in the lead here. Smith dished it to Dury underneath. You couldn't lay it in. Brown, rebound, outlet ahead. McCullough 3 with the shot clock off, no good. Simpson had the board, but had it stolen by Perry Fields. Fields with 15 to shoot. Contact and the foul. Fields has shown that a couple of times tonight, and this time gets it to fall. See, he steals it right here, dribbles ahead. There was an awkward dribble right here, but he stayed with it. Puts it in. The foul went against Kenneth Brown. Chance for a three-point play and a Trade Tech lead here for Fields, who knocks it in. 74% foul shooter. And then a foul with 4.7 to go on Trade Tech here. Goes against Jerome Smith, I believe. His first will send Emmanuel Taylor back to the line. Taylor makes the first of two. Taylor 3 of 5 from the line. .7 to go. We're tied at 42 here in the first half. Second one is good from Emmanuel Taylor. We'll have a substitution. Jimmy Baker coming in to take over for Kenneth Brown. Brown with 6 points, 4 boards. Lewis, a foul line jumper for the lead is good. Damani Lewis now 9 points to lead the way for Trade Tech. They have a 44-43 halftime lead. We'll take it to the break. Here from Lee Smelser Court at the 34th Cougar Holiday Classic.
Welcome to College of the Canyons, where students become the success stories of tomorrow. Whether you're already in the workforce or just getting started, our flexible schedules are a game changer. And students don't just earn degrees. They catapult into desirable careers in top 4-year universities for just $46 per unit. Quality education without crushing debt. Ditch the cookie-cutter mold of college and make college work for you. Register now at canyons.edu/schedule.
The Jersey Mike's catering box is the easiest way to feed your friends. The hard part is picking your sub. That's why we're having a draft. With the first pick, Sarah from Carolina selects number 13, the original Italian.
You know, I trusted my gut, and that's exactly where the sub's gonna go, so.
Hold on, we've got a trade. Jake traded his second pick with me, because I'm starved.
Freshly sliced subs to go, wherever you and your friends go. Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
Whether we're on the move or stuck in one place, it's with us, comforting, healing, and transforming lives. It's the power of you. With 4 world-class hospitals and over 170 clinics across Southern California, together, we're building a healthier community. We're your neighbors, your friends, your family. It begins with you. UCLA Health.
Can I get it Mike's way?
What's happening?
And your free sub. Enjoy.
That was super weird.
Oh, that? Nah. She just used the shore points you can now earn from chip and drink purchases to get free sub through the app.
Download the Jersey Mike's app and earn rewards towards free subs with every sub, Pepsi, and Lay's you purchase.
Make hosting your next event easy with the Dr. Diane G. Van Hook University Center. With over 30 meeting spaces, wireless video teleconferencing capabilities, food service, and technical support available, the University Center has everything you need to make your next event shine. Conveniently located near the 5 and 14 freeways in Santa Clarita, the University Center offers easy access to local airports and many attractions, making it the ideal meeting place for everyone. To learn more about our rental options or to book now, visit canyons.edu/University Center.
Welcome back into the Smelser court inside the Cougar cage as a 44-43 LA Trade Tech lead over Mount San Antonio College. As we get ready for second half action here from the Cougar Holiday Classic. Lee Smelser court inside the Cougar cage. It'll be Mount Sac's ball to start the second half, excuse me. As the teams will switch sides, Mount Sac in their whites, moving to our right here in the second. Trade Tech in their blacks, moving to our left. It was a back and forward first half. As a 3 to start things off from Emmanuel Taylor gives Mount Sac a 46-44 lead. Mount Sac in the first half, 15 of 29, 51% from the floor, 4 of 10 from 3. Trade Tech 17 of 36, 47% from the floor, 5 of 8 from 3. Turnover on Trade Tech to start here on their first offensive possession, and Mount Sac trying to go quick. Emmanuel Taylor driving, lays it off the window. 5 straight points for Emmanuel Taylor, and he's all of a sudden got Mount Sac to a 4-point lead here, 48-44. Quickly a 5-0 run here in the second half. Jerome Smith. Get it to Jonathan Fields. Jonathan Fields, step back jumper from the elbow, no good, was short. Good contest by Simpson. Back the other way, Brown now. Brown spinning, goes underneath, he draws the foul. As contact that time from Trevin Thompson. We'll send Brown to the line for 2. Sorry about that, trying to get us back to the main camera here. Our replays decided to fight us for the moment, so we'll get that fixed up. Offensive foul on Fields here. This on the offensive side from Mount Sac. Jonathan Fields back the other way, spinning. Travel going to be called, too many steps. He got himself to the block that time. Mounties turned the ball over on their offensive possession, and then a miss from Damani Lewis that time. We'll send Mount Sac back the other way. McCullough pushed down to the floor. They're going to give a foul to Jonathan Fields here. Or they didn't. I don't know what they called. They didn't call a foul on Jonathan Fields. It wasn't a tie-up. I guess they said ball out of bounds off of LA Trade Tech. Doesn't matter. Mount Sac couldn't do anything with it. Jerome Smith back up the floor. Got it to Jonathan Fields for 3. No good. Easy rebound for McCullough. Back the other way on a quick outlet comes Mount Sac. Taylor blocked by Fields. It'll stay with Mount Sac. Taylor going up against 2 big bodies that time, and Trevin Thompson and Jonathan Fields, 6 foot and 6'8". Thompson, the taller of the two at 6'8", going against the 5'10" point guard that time. McCullough with 14.6 boards leading the way. For Mount Sac, three-pointer no good from Taylor. Easy board for Thompson. Outlets to Lewis, then to Smith. Extra pass corner. Perry Fields called for stepping on the sideline. And it'll be Mount Sac basketball. Kind of an ugly start here to the second half after the quick 5-0 run. It's been a 7-0 run for Mount Sac to lead 50-44, and then a tie-up foul called against Trevin. No, it goes against Ryan Wheeler. Said very ugly start here after the quick flurry in the first minute and a half, led by Emmanuel Taylor. Everybody else kind of still getting their legs back under him here after the halftime break. Jerome Smith back to work offensively, got to Damani Lewis. Lewis has already matched his season high of 9 points. He's fouled before he gets a shot away. Foul going to go against Kenneth Brown. Going to be Brown's third. Joel Gatto going to check in to take over for Ryan Wheeler, who has 3 fouls. Trade Tech back to work. Taylor nearly gets a strip. Fields keeps possession of it. Sends it over to the far side. Fields a miss. Simpson an easy rebound. Simpson sprinting ahead, gets it to Emmanuel Taylor. Now back to Simpson. They'll work it into the corner. McCullough for 3. Hit the side of the glass as it was coming down. Quickly back the other way, trying to draw contact was Jonathan Fields, could not. Ball goes out off of the Mounties, and it'll stay with Trade Tech here. Baker and Williams back in to take over for Taylor and Brown. Gatto knocked the inbound play away, but Trade Tech gonna stay with it here. Fields, little 9-footer, no good. Rebound was pulled down by Hardy, but then Jerome Smith stepped on the sideline, and yet another turnover, and we're gonna see just about wholesale changes here from Trade Tech as they bring four bodies off the floor. The only one staying out there is Dante Hardy. As Clemegny, Martin, Dury, and Garrett all back into the game. Clemegny's been quiet today. We talked about him in the pregame, just 4 points here early on. Ball knocked out by Trade Tech. It'll stay with Mount Sac. Simpson, who was the other man we talked about in the pregame, 11 points, 5 boards today. 3 Mounties in double figures, none for Trade Tech. 9 different scorers for Trade Tech so far. They get a takeaway. Clemegny gets the lay-in, breaks the 7-0 run, makes it a 4-point game. Baker back into the front court, will put it into the hands of McCullough. Back to Baker as they play catch. Now Gatto to Simpson. Simpson double teamed and fouled, trying to slide through. Good sportsmanship from Kevin Garrett that time to pick him up after the foul. So he got knocked down. It'll be the second foul on Kevin Garrett. I like that. You don't often see that, but get it there. Gatto catches on the inbound. There's McCullough. Far side now. Simpson. Back over to Baker. Now to McCullough. Underneath. Gatto blocked. Good block by Hardy. Ball stays with Mount Sac. They get it underneath. Simpson counted in the foul. Jaden Simpson that time after Mount Sac able to do some good work down low. You can see Gatto blocked by Hardy. McCullough then able to find Simpson on a bounce pass, who scores it and the foul. Foul went against Dante Hardy. Simpson misses on the foul shot. So So it'll stay at an 8-point lead, or a 6-point lead right now. Simpson now with 13. McCullough 14 and 6, leading the way. Here's Martin, who's been quiet today. Didn't get much a run in that first half. Misses on a 3 there. Back the other way, Mount Sac. Simpson driving baseline. Good change of direction in the air. Tried to draw contact and the foul, didn't get it. But he's got 15 now to lead the way. Lead up to 8. 3 no good from Kevin Garrett. Simpson the rebound, outlet ahead. Baker catches on the near wing. Sends it to far wing to Williams. He'll drive. A blocking foul going to be called against Dante Hardy. Will send Williams to the line. Williams today, his first trip to the line. 61% foul shooter. Yandel Parker coming in. Takes over for Dante Hardy with his 3 fouls. One of 2 good from Jeremy Williams. Timeout on the floor called by Mount Sac. 55-46, the lead will take it as well. Back inside Lee Smelser Court at the Cougar cage, 55-46, Mount Sac leading. Mount Sac, 48% from the floor today, 19 of 39. For Trade Tech, 39% from the floor, 18 of 46. Their lowest this season was 33% against Cerritos in a 78-72 loss, so hovering just above that at the moment. Magny now will bring the ball up the floor. Andrew Martin now to work. Tried to slip it down low, Magny, but it's stolen by Simpson. Simpson into the corner. Wild reverse layup, no good from Jimmy Baker. Never really had an opportunity. Duree will bring it back the other way. Simpson, another hand on the ball to knock it away from Duree and slow down Trade Tech. Here's Martin now. Comegny, 3 on the way, no good. Rebound pulled down by Trade Tech, found its way to the hands of Duree, who will put up an elbow jumper, no good. McCullough able to strip the rebound away from Yandel Parker. The outlet to Baker. 12-footer, no good. Rebound off of the hands of Andrew Martin and out of play. Martin's been quiet today. Averages 6 points per game. Shoots 42% from 3, which is 37th in the state, 12 of 28. But he's 0 for 1 from the floor in his only 3-point attempt in 11 minutes. Duree got a hand on that one. Simpson now approaching a double-double, looking for what would be his second of the season. His only other one, 18 and 10 against Santiago Canyon. was 5 of 12 in that game, 6 of 7 so far here today. He'll send it to the far side to Baker. Baker driving, no good off the window as it was partially blocked. The putback from Gatto didn't fall. Outlet ahead to Martin for Trade Tech. Martin thought about a 3, instead gets it to Quimegny. He tries to drive, throws up a right-handed hook that doesn't fall. Gatto the rebound, the outlet ahead to McCullough, who will stop it up just on the far wing and set up the half-court offense for Mount Sac. Sac kind of stagnant here on this offensive set. Baker puts up an 18-footer that's good. Jimmy Baker, 6.5 points per game, 40% from the floor this season. Knocks that one down. His first bucket of the ball game, it's an 11-point lead. Derry. Jumper from just outside the foul line, hit the rim and then just stopped dead. Didn't fall in. Back the other way. McCullough underneath, Gatto. Jump stop in the lane, has it stripped by Derry. Outlets ahead to Martin. Simpson trying to chase him down, instead just gonna let Martin finish it off, not injure anybody, including himself. So Martin gets his first bucket of the game. 57-48 the score. Mount Sac leading Trade Tech here. So we continue on in the second half, just under 12 minutes to go. Simpson, 15.7 boards on the day. Make it 8 boards as he gets his own rebound off a miss, draws a foul, gets to the line. It'll be his 3rd trip to the line today. Simpson, a guy that gets to the line an awful lot, as we talked about. 5th in the state free throws made with 82. In that double-double game against Santiago Canyon, he was 5 of 10 from the line. 3 times this season, he's made 10 free throws. In a game, he makes the first. 16-8 now for him as it's a 10-point lead. Gatto comes out as they brought Ryan Wheeler back in. Simpson makes both. Back to an 11-point advantage. Andrew Martin will bring it up the floor for Trade Tech now. Works off the screen. 20-footer is good. Martin trying to find his stroke. He's got 4 now. Lead is 9. Simpson on the near side. Got it over to McCullough. McCullough to his left. They'll work it around the perimeter to Simpson. Fouled on a 3 by Derry. Will go to the line for 3 foul shots. Derry's 2nd foul. It's already the 7th on Trade Tech, I believe, and that'll put Mount Sac at the line for the rest of the game. 3 foul shots here for Simpson, who's 4 of 5 from the line. Makes the first. Second is good. So it's an 11-point lead. Can get it to a 12-point lead. Would be his 7th made free throw of the game. Makes all 3. It's a 12-point lead. Kendall Parker sends it over to Jerome Smith. 15-footer from Smith, no good. Rebound found its way to McCullough. Give him 9 boards. Looking for his first double-double of the season. He's at 14 and 9 right now. Baker will send to McCullough. McCullough, 20-footer, no good. Rebound picked up by Smith. Dribbles out of trouble. Sends it over to Andrew Martin. McCullough staying right with Martin here. Now Pomegny, 10 to shoot. Steps back to a 3. Too strong. Rebound pulled down by Simpson, his 9th. He'll get it over Williams. Williams driving, lays it off the window and good. Mount Sac starting to run here. 14-point lead, 64-50, 9:50 to go. Jerome Smith back to work offensively for Trade Tech. Still no Beavers in double figures in this ball game. Yandel Parker had it taken away for a moment. Pomegny trying to drive baseline, dumps Yandel Parker. He'll get it off the window and in, as Ryan Wheeler couldn't defend him cleanly that time. Makes it back to a 12-point game. Here's McCullough. Sends it far side, Jimmy Baker. Baker with 8. To Williams inside. Underneath the basket was Ryan Wheeler as he muscles it home. Through Yandel Parker that time. Wheeler now with 4 points in the ball game. A foul 90 feet away from the basket called against Simpson, his first. Scratch that is second. 14-point advantage once again. Andrew Martin will bring it up the floor. Yandel Parker fouled that time by Wheeler. Wheeler will pick up his 4th. Gatto will get back up off the bench and get to the table here. 2 shots for Yandel Parker here. Just 4 fouls on Mount Sac here in this second half. Yandel Parker makes the first. He's a 43% foul shooter on the season, 7 of 16 coming into the game. Makes both of these, though. Cuts the lead back down to 12. 66-54. One of the lowest outputs of the season so far for Trade Tech, whose lowest was 58 against LA Pierce. For Mount Sac, this is probably about par for the course for them when you look down the list. Shot clock violation that time. You look, their high was 95 against Santiago Canyon. Their low is 64. Most of their games in that range. 60 to 70 points. A couple of times they've hit 90. But they really do well defensively. They've only given up 90 points one time this season, and that was the 95-91 win over Santiago Canyon. Yandel Parker gets a bucket. And actually, it was Damani Lewis. Give him double figures with 11. His first game with 10 or more points this season. He gets the ball now, and he'll run it up the floor. Lewis, little stutter step at the line. Had it stripped by Taylor. Outlet ahead by Simpson. Got it to Gatto, dumped it underneath. Baker went up. Didn't actually get off the floor. Had it knocked out of his hands by Yandel Parker. It'll stay with Mount Sac here under the basket in a 10-point game. Kenneth Brown checking in to take over for Jeremy Williams. Taylor thought about a deep 3. Instead, decided to drive, gets it to Brown. Brown to Gatto. Extra pass into the corner to Simpson. Simpson now going to drive, draws contact. As they'll say the foul against Yandel Parker here will put Simpson at the line for 1-and-1. And that's where Simpson, I mean, we talked about it. He is so deadly off the dribble that he draws a ton of fouls. Again, 104 foul shots coming in today. You've had 8 more today. These will be 1-and-1 here. And this is a team Mount Sac that does a good job of drawing fouls. You look at their foul shots per game, 18.1 made, which is 8th, 25.3 taken, which is 8th, and that's per game. Simpson made the first, 8 of 9 now, and make him 9 of 10 to stretch the lead back up to 12. So it's a team that they get called for a lot of fouls. 32 fouls was their high this season against Shabbat. They also got called for 32, or they also drew 32 in that game. They draw 20.3, which is 6th most in the state. So far today, they've done a nice job drawing fouls and getting themselves to the line. Now 19 of 26 from the line. Reset, a Martin 3 is good. Andrew Martin, who again we said is kind of the sharpshooter for Trade Tech. 37th in the state in three-point percentage at 42%. Knocks one down there. It's back to a single-digit lead. Mount Sac turns it over as Gatto couldn't handle the pass. Too much on it from Jimmy Baker. Trade Tech trying to get back to work. Thompson underneath. 5-point run, 5-0 run here for Trade Tech. Mount Sac trying to go back to work. Gatto had it knocked out of his hands again by Perry Fields. That's the second time Gatto down low is trying to move inside and had it knocked out of his hands. Smith, a 3 is good. Jerome Smith, his third 3 of the ball game. Give him 11 now. And all of a sudden it's a 4-point game. The lead was 14. It's an 8-0 run. Smith got his hand on it into Emmanuel Taylor's face. Accidental. Smith immediately, my fault, and checks on Taylor. So again, I like that from Smith. Gives him a pat on the hind quarters. Emmanuel Taylor will go to the line. 1-1 to work here. McCullough and Wheeler back in. Gatto and Banker off the floor. Taylor has been stuck on 11 points for the majority of this second half. He had a quick 5-0 flurry. Chance to get to the line here and shoot 1-1. Misses on the first. From Smith now, back to work. Throws it into the corner. Fields a 3, too strong. Easy rebound from McCullough, gives him his double-double. 14 and 10 today for John McCullough. His first double-double of the season. Season high in rebounds for him at 10. This is his 10th game of the year with 10 or more points. He's got the basketball now. Sends it to Taylor. Deep 3 from range is an air ball. Easily handled by Andrew Martin. Martin in a 4-point game, works to his right on the wing. Sent it into the corner. Jonathan Fields now. Now up top to Jerome Smith. Smith and Lewis with 11 points leading the way for Trade Tech. Everybody who's seen the game today for Trade Tech is scored. Here's a 3 from Martin, no good. Rebound pulled down by Kenneth Brown, his 5th of the ball game. Secured it nicely, and it'll stay a 4-point lead. Here's Emmanuel Taylor. Draws another foul. This one gonna go against, I believe, Perry Fields. Will send Taylor to the line for 1-1. Third on Perry Fields. And they will say 2 shots now, as that's gonna put him in the plus. Both shots are good. 70-64 the lead. Foul called underneath the basket as Thompson will get himself to the line. And that's the 5th foul on Ryan Wheeler, so that'll send him to the bench for the remainder. Brings Gatto back in. Wheeler's night's done. 4 points, no rebounds, 5 fouls, 2 for 4 from the floor. So he'll have a seat. And technical fouls on Kenneth Brown and Perry Fields. That's the 4th foul on Perry Fields. That's the 4th foul on Kenneth Brown, I believe, as well. Thompson, first of 2 is good. Second is good as well. Timeout called by LA Trade Tech. A full timeout will take the break as well. 4:19 to go. 70-65. Mount Sac leading a 5-point game here from Lee Smelser Court at the Cougar Holiday Classic. Seventy to 66. It was 70-65 before the break, but they had never ticked on the extra points. 70-66 the score, a 4-point game. Mount Sac leading LA Trade Tech, a good one here. Remember, we'll have more basketball coming up on the Cougar Sports Network at 7 o'clock or in that range. College of the Canyons and Orange Coast College, the second game of this Cougar Holiday Classic. Winner will take on one of those 2 teams. .30-second timeout called by John McCullough that time as he was pinned on the sideline there. So we'll stay right here. Trade Tech 25 of 63 from the floor. Mount Sac 22 of 51. Trade Tech 7 of 18 from 3, 9 of 12 from the line. Compare that to 5 of 14 for Mount Sac, 21 of 29 from the line. That's the difference in the ball game so far. The rebound margin actually in favor of LA Trade Tech, a team that gets out-rebounded most of the time this season. Talk about a rebound plus-minus for Trade Tech of +0.5. Out-rebounding Mount Sac, who normally out-rebounds their opponents by 8. 4-point game. Turnover by Mount Sac. Jimmy Baker coming back in to take over for Gatto as Mount Sac going to go small here with 3:46 to go. They've had either Gatto or Wheeler on the floor for pretty much most of the game, but with Wheeler fouled out, they decided to go small defensively. Martin, good contact from Baker, but didn't get a foul called for it, and they stay to work here. Martin still with the basketball. Skips it down. Thompson backs off Simpson and puts it in. It's a 2-point game. David Thompson now with 12 points to lead the way. Third Beaver in double figures today. Baker gonna let the clock tick away here. Now Taylor onto the near side. Brown back to Taylor. Now to Brown, a 3 with 3 to shoot is good. Kenneth Brown, give him double figures with 11. Lead back up to 5. McCullough gets a hand on the zip pass inside as the Fields were trying to connect. Here's Thompson now on top. Perry Fields went up high, lost the ball, came to Jonathan Fields, had it knocked away from him for a moment, but as he put it up, it bounced off the rim, and Perry Fields was able to get the putback. Fields now with 5 points. That is Perry Fields. Jonathan with 6. 3-point game. Now Sack not going to get across the timeline. 10-second violation here. Timeline violation. It'll be Trade Tech basketball in a 1-possession game. Trade Tech this year in 1-possession games 3-3. Mount Sac has not lost a 1-possession game this season. Jerome Smith gonna be called for a foul on Emmanuel Taylor here. Shots for Emmanuel Taylor here. Third foul on Smith. Intensity picking up here. 2:12 to go. It was a 14-point Mountie lead here in the second half. With 9:05 to go. Trade Tech is closed it down to a 4-point game at the moment. Taylor makes the first of 2. Taylor misses on the second, so it'll stay a 4-point game. Smith will get it to Perry Fields. Inside, Jonathan Fields dumped it off as he couldn't get a shot away. It was in and out of the hands of Trayvon Thompson. And then a foul going to be called against Emmanuel Taylor, going to be his first, under the basket. With a body on the floor, it's going to send Jonathan Fields to the line. Fields will shoot the first to 101 and knock it down. 66% foul shooter this year. This is his first trip to the line today. Back to a 1-possession game with 1:57 to go. Make it a 2-point game with 1:57 to go. Inbound ahead to Baker. It's LA Trade Tech in a press here. Off the inbound, so it allowed Mount Sac to get into their half-court offense. Playing for a good shot here with a 2-point lead, 74-72, 1:40 to go. Taylor will send it to Simpson. Back to Taylor. Taylor working to his left. Has it blocked. Swatted away that time by Perry Fields. Then Martin ran into Baker, lost the ball. Taylor with it, bounced past Simpson, goes to the rack and lays it in. It's a 4-point lead. Quickly, Trade Tech back to work. Smith handling the basketball this time. Hollering out for Thompson to come up. Smith instead will take a deep three that's no good. Rebound finds its way to Simpson. And then he's fouled by Andrew Martin, I believe. Yep, they give the foul to Andrew Martin. It'll be his third. Simpson now with a double-double, 24 and 10. And he'll go to the line for his 11th and 12th foul shots of the game. He's 9 of 10 from the line today with 24 points to lead the way. His next foul shot, if he makes it, will tie his season high of 25 against Irvine Valley, where he was 7 of 13, excuse me, from the floor, misses the first, so the broadcaster jinxes in effect. He was 10 of 11 from the line in that game. Right now he's 9 of 11. And he's 7 of 10 from the floor, 1 of 1 from 3. That game against Irvine Valley was 1 of 3 from 3. Makes the second. So he's tied his season high of 25. Mount Sac going to take a timeout with 61 seconds to go in the ball game. And a 77-72 lead. Orange Coast and College of the Canyons on deck, waiting to get ready to go here. That one will start, I think, 30 minutes after the completion of this one. I think the teams are required 30 minutes on the floor before the game. So we're looking at probably a 7:15, 7:20 start time for that one. So 77-72, 60 seconds to go in the ball game. Mount Sac leading, Trade Tech with the basketball. Jerome Smith between the circles now, moves it to the near wing. Spins back towards the center of the floor. Sent it to the far side, Perry Fields into the lane. No good, rebound tapped out. Pomegny, who's been quiet today, knocks down a three, give him 9. It's a 2-point lead here for Mount Sac. Perry Fields gonna pick up his 4th foul as he ran into Emmanuel Taylor. And that's actually the 5th on Perry Fields. So they bring Andrew Martin back in. And the day for Perry Fields, 3 points, 8 boards, 5 fouls. He had an assist in there as well. Taylor can't stretch it to a 2-possession game. He can at best stretch it to a 1-possession game. Taylor today has been to the line 12 times. He's made 7 of 12, making 8 of 13. It's a 3-point game, 78-75. Trade Tech calls their 3rd time out of the ball game. Still have 3 to go with 36.7. So 36.7, 78-75. Trevin Thompson, 14 points, 8 boards, leading the way for Trade Tech. Then you have Jerome Smith, Damani Lewis, each with 11 points. Jaden Simpson, a double-double, 25 and 10. Emmanuel Taylor, 15 points and 4 assists. McCullough, double-double, 14 and 10. And Kenneth Brown, 11-5 today. The Mounties 24 of 35 from the line, 68.6%. 4 off their season high of foul shots made of 28 in a game. Smith needs to get to work here, driving against Taylor. Came out of his hands, went right to Jonathan Fields, who lays it in. It's back to a 1-point game here. 78-77. Taylor will send it to McCullough. Extra pass Baker, and Baker's fouled with 13 and a half. Baker just a 57% foul shooter this season. Only 4 of 7 from the line this year. 2 big foul shots to keep it at a full 1-possession game. And would force Trade Tech to knock down a 3 on the other side to tie it and try and send us to OT. Baker has not been to the line today. Makes the first of 2. So it's a 2-point game. 13 and a half to go. 79-77. Misses on the second. Trade Tech the rebound. They can try and win the game right here. They'll take a timeout. They wasted 4 seconds. 9.2 to go. Stay right here with it. That was a big miss that time from Baker on the second. It did help. It ran off 4 seconds. So now you ask the Beavers, who are 8 of 20 from 3 today. They can either try and tie the game, send us to OT, or they can try and shoot a 3 and send themselves to the Cougar Holiday Classic final and hand Mount Sac just their 2nd loss of the season. Inbound from just in front of the table on the Mount Sac side of the floor. Smith will catch on the inbound. Smith will work to his left, dumps it off. Quamegny to the elbow, try to tie the game. No, and that is the ball game. Quamegny missed on a 15-footer. No putback opportunity for Thompson. And Mount Sac gonna go to the Cougar Holiday Classic final for the 2nd straight year. They win it 79-77 for their 12th win of the season. For Trade Tech, they fall to 5 and 7 on the year, but they gave it a run here late. That'll do it for us from Lee Smelser Court on this first game. Second game coming up in about 30 minutes start time. College of the Canyons and Orange Coast College, game number 2 of the Cougar Holiday Classic.